Hey guys, this is Maria Leon, and welcome back to another episode of Founder in the Making. Today, I wanted to talk to you all about juggling entrepreneurship with other responsibilities. No matter the responsibilities that you have, whether it be another job, it be kids, it be personal things that you do on the side, it's not easy to juggle both your entrepreneurship journey and your personal stuff or your other work or your kids. And that's definitely something that we're going to touch up a little bit on today. So, in my case, my biggest thing is my kids. I have a 5 and a 3 year old, and time management when it comes to the kids, it's very difficult for me because kids are like the variable X. You don't know. You don't know what it is. You don't know what it is that could happen. Today they're fine. Tomorrow they wake up sick. Maybe tomorrow again they wake up fine. But then at night they're sick again. And when it comes to time management, you need to have a plan. You need to have things planned out and you already have things in motion. But kids aren't like that. You can't plan things around kids. So when it comes to the time management, you have to make sure you prioritize different tasks and avoid burnout because when you have so much going on in your life, it's going to cause for you to not want to do what it is that you're doing. So, in my case, when it comes to me, my kids, sometimes since it's two, it's not just one. Sometimes one gets sick, and then once he's better, the other one gets sick. And it's just maybe 1 or 2 weeks of kids being sick. That's 2 weeks that I went without being able to do what I needed to do. But when it comes to those situations, I really try to maybe even if it's waking up early in the morning and doing the tasks that I know are the most important, and then the rest of the day just focusing on my son. The rest of the day, I might see if there's any possibility of me maybe trying to do little tasks here and there that I can get accomplished really quickly while maybe my son is taking a nap or any kind of opening that I see, I take advantage of it and do what I need to do. So not only am I left with a bunch of work to do when they are feeling better, but also because I have goals set for myself throughout the week and I need to meet those goals one way or another. I'm not saying my kids are always sick, but that does happen and it's a challenge that you need to overcome because as much as you want to be super organized and have everything laid out on paper. Okay, today I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And then the plan is this, 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 and this. But you have kids and it's not as structured as you'd want it to be. You know, they are definitely a variable that you don't know what could happen. Uh, One day maybe not only is he sick, but maybe even during the holidays, they have to stay home from school. You have to take care of them. You have to try to think about these things where you're planning. Okay, maybe something happened and it was super last minute. What can I do? See the openings, see what it is that you can maybe accomplish, even if it's not like a huge task. Maybe it's something smaller, but it's something that's going to get you to finish the goal you have for yourself by the end of the week. That's very important because when it comes to the time management, you need to be able to. I set this goal for myself. I start work in the morning between 8 and 9, depending on which day it is, because I do have other things sometimes at 8 o'clock uh, that I know it's part of the journey, but it's like a meeting or something like that. So I can't necessarily start the hands-on work by 8 o'clock, so I'll start by 9 o'clock. And when it comes to the rest of the day, then I have it set that I need to finish by at least 5 to 6 o'clock, depending on either if I'm gonna be the one to pick up my kids or if my husband's able to pick up my kids. That needs to be a set amount of time because I want to be able to spend time with my kids. I want to be able to have the quality time. The reason I'm doing this is to be able to have more of that quality time with my kids, see them grow, see them go out and play, see them have, a proper childhood. But if I end up killing myself over night and working the entire night. And don't get me wrong, I do, you know, but it's things that I don't necessarily need to stay at my office for. Maybe it's an email that came through my phone and I'll just answer it really quick. Or maybe even some things that I'm doing on social media that maybe I have to do some posting, then I'll do that. But it's things that don't really take up too much of my time because I need to make that quality time for my kids and my husband as well because that's part of the relationship. I have to be there. I can't just leave them on a back burner. I'm doing this for them. I'm doing this not just for them, but for myself as well. But they are my family. And I need to make sure I can prioritize them as well as the things that I need to do with my own work. Okay. The work life integration and the balance, it's not as easy as it sounds, but you need to find a way to make it feasible. You have to sit down with your partner if you do have a partner. If you don't, you need to sit down and see what it is that you need to do in order to be able to accomplish the goals that you have set for yourself for that week, as well as being able to be there for the family. You have to be aware. If you're in the position where maybe your husband and or yourself, you work more throughout the weekend and you have more free throughout the week, but it is possible that, over the weekend, a lot of places are closed, so you can't get some things accomplished, depending on what it is that you do. That's fine, but you need to be able to do some sort of tasks throughout that weekend where you can move ahead and then leave the rest for throughout the week when you have some time. It's not easy to balance it out. In my case, most of my stuff it's Monday through Friday. I have my Saturday and Sunday off, but I did have a situation where or I do have the situation where my husband's work schedule doesn't really align with mine sometimes, especially throughout his busy season. Oh my goodness, today my English is a little crazy. When he has that busy season, it's an alternating schedule that he has, but we need to pick up the kids and take the kids to school. Plus the fact that I have certain appointments or certain meetings that I need to attend to. So I need to see how it is that we can work together to manage that. We can't do it long term base because some things always come up. So we try to make sure we know who can do what throughout the week. It's a weekly basis to see, okay, can you take the kids to school? Can I take the kids to school? Can you pick them up? Or maybe you can take them and I pick them up. And we try to sort it out depending on what our schedule is most likely looking like. That's very helpful when it comes to the time management, when it comes to the work life balance, because you know that, okay, today's the day that I need to pick up my kids or that I need to take my kids or, do this with the kids. So let me plan out the day. Let me see what it is that I need to prioritize that I need to get done early in the morning. What is it that I can get done in the afternoon before I go pick them up? Or, this is what I can do in the afternoon before I have to, you start seeing a picture of how your day is going to flow. That is the key. You need to make sure everything flows, that you're not going crazy. Oh, I wasn't able to do this because I had to do that, and I wasn't able to get this done because I had to do that. No, you need to make sure when you're working this out throughout the day that it's flowing properly, that it's smooth sailing. Because if not, you are going to feel a burnout. You're going to feel very overwhelmed, and that's not what you want. When you are, maybe you don't have the partner, but maybe you have family help, you need to sit down with your family and see how it is that maybe they can help you, or you need to see the resources around you and see how it is that they can help you accomplish your goal. I don't know what everyone's situation is, so it's difficult for me to be able to help in a different way to kind of give you ideas of how it is that you can overcome those. But in my situation with my partner, I can't do this as a long term. I have to do a weekly schedule because of the alternating in his schedule and his work schedule, as well as different meetings and things that I might have. So the weekly scheduling is very important for us because that's how I can make my week flow properly, where I'm not going crazy and pulling my hair out by the end of the week. Um, the support in your life is very important, whether it be family, friends, mentors, your spouse, all of that is very important. You need to make sure you surround yourself with people that you know are going to be there. And if they're not, if you know that they're bringing you down, that needs to go to the side because when it comes to these different tasks and obstacles you're going to face, you're going to need that back burner. You're going to need that support. That needs to be there because it comes in handy. It's going to give you motivation. It's going to help you feel better and give you strength to keep going. That actually happened to me. I learned that the hard way. I always heard it. Everyone always says that, but you don't really realize it until you actually go through these things, and then you say to yourself, yeah, that's right. I did need that. Actually, when I was trying to finish my bachelor's, I had some friends that they were a bit supportive, but not really. And it was easier to just be, okay, whatever you want to do. If you want to quit, fine. I didn't need to hear those words because I did want to quit. It was a lot. I had the two kids. I was working a 9 to 5. I was trying to finish school. I was finishing school at 10 o'clock at night to then have to do homework. And in my case, that was programming. It was for software engineering. So it's not like you can just, oh, let me Google, what it is. And no, you can't do that. You have to figure out a bunch of code, and then next thing you know, if you don't do it properly, then it's not running. And when it's not running, sometimes it could be the dumbest little thing like a comma, and that can make a huge difference. But at that late at night, you don't really focus on these little details, so you're just frustrated. And it does get frustrating, and it's understandable, but you can't let that get to you. And that's why you have that support group to kind of, they're like your cheerleaders. They kind of help you keep going. They're like, yeah, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. When you have people telling you, okay, well, I guess if you want to quit, just quit. Well, don't reassure me. Don't give me that because I already want to quit. I know I want to quit, but should I? And you're telling me, yeah, I should. So then maybe I should. You don't want your mind to go to those thoughts. You want your mind to tell, to keep you going. So you need the cheerleaders to kind of know you can do it. You have this. You can do it. You can do it. Keep going. You're doing great. And when they're saying that to you, your mind is constantly telling itself, they're telling me I can do it. They're telling me I can do it. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I should do it. Maybe I can keep going. Come on, let's keep trying. Let's keep going. And that's what you need. And I really saw that in myself during that period of time, and it applies here too, because I need that here too. There are days where I am just telling myself, I can't do this anymore. I need to let this out. I spoke about this in one of the other episodes. I had a week where I was like that, and it was just bringing me down, and everyone just brought me back up. My husband, he was great. He just lifted me back up and kept supporting me. He didn't bring me down. Even my own mother, she was doing the same thing. My mother-in-law, everyone around me was just trying to build me up. My friends, and I kept going, and I got out of that dump that I was in. You need that support group. That is very important. And if you have any negativity, even, watching videos that make you laugh, watching videos that motivate you, doing all of these things, that is what's going to help you in your achieve your goals. That support system is very important in your entrepreneurial journey. That's something you're going to need from the beginning to the end. And it's not going to be something, if you're not getting that from people, you need to tell them, hey, I need time out from you. I need, I need to put you on the side because this is not, or, even kick them out of your life. It's not easy because you know, depending on the person, you do have some sort of appreciation for everybody in your life, but you can't keep everybody if they're bringing you down. That's just somebody that's just going to hold you back from achieving all of the goals that you have set for yourself. Okay. During your personal journey, when it comes to the work-life balance, you need to figure out how it is that you are going to schedule this out. This is very challenging, guys. This is not something that is going to come easy. First, sit down and think about what it is that you have planned for that month. Again, in my case, I do these things by week, but you can as well, depending on your situation. But see what you need and you have planned and the goals that you have planned for the month. Consider that with whatever personal issues you might have, whether it be you already work a 9 to 5 and seeing about the free time. Maybe even if you have a 9 to 5 during your lunchtime, you can fit in some of the work that you have and then go back to your regular 9 to 5. And after that, you leave things that are maybe not so crucial because I know if you have a 9 to 5, by the time if you have to contact other people, depending on what it is that you're doing, if you don't really have to contact people, if you're doing like content creation, then maybe you can do that after you get out of work. Um, but you need to be able to do the balance. You have to see what it is that's going on around you in order to be able to do that. I will tell you that the management aspect of this journey is not as easy as it sounds. You have to really consider a lot of variables when it comes to this, whether it be your family, your kids, your events, meetings, different. The goals end up, in order to achieve those goals, you have to make a plan as to what it is that you need to do. And that becomes part of the managing. How are you going to manage everything together? Again, the simplest way to do it is start off with what it is that you have personal, what it is that you have when it comes to the 9 to 5, when it comes to family, when it comes to how you want to manage those times for that. Once you have that established, then you go into, okay, this is my goal for this week. And these are the things that I have personally that I want to accomplish family wise and personally for this week. So, how can I incorporate my goals into that? And then look at the times. Okay, maybe today, if I wake up earlier, and do these things that I have prioritized, then maybe I can keep going with the rest of the things that I have personally. And after that, maybe I can go ahead and, work on these other things, and then maybe I can take a rest. You have to look at your days time wise. You have to look at, okay, I can do this at 8 o'clock. I can do this at 9, or maybe if I do it like this, it's not going to give me enough time for what I have planned in the afternoon. So maybe I need to do it earlier. And when you start looking at your plans like that, it's going to help you figure out how you're going to do it. In the beginning, you're going to crash a little bit, which is fine, but you need to make sure that when you're planning the rest of the days that you're considering, you'll start noticing what it is that you forgot to consider. You write that down and then you look over, okay, this is how I need to plan it out. This is how I need to incorporate this into this. This is how I need to make sure I plan this day out properly. You have birthdays, you have Mother's Day, you have all these different events and different holidays and things like that that sometimes we forget to consider. So you start seeing that, and when you see that, then you start incorporating, okay, this is what I need to do, this is how I need to do it, this is what needs to happen in order to achieve this goal. So you just need to make sure you are keeping track of it in the beginning, because in the beginning you're going to see what it is that you're forgetting and how it is that you're going to incorporate it, and it's going to help you establish a good flow personally and work wise when it comes to the rest of your journey. The beginning you might hit some bumps, but you're going to see what it is that's going to help you in order to keep going with that. You will improve as I have. I'm not saying I'm a master at it just yet, because I still have a lot of variable X's that still come by and happen. And, you're going to have them too, that make me have to adjust my entire schedule up. But I have established a flow that I like, that helps me be able to have a work-life balance, and I use that as somewhat of a template to be able to readjust things for any kind of emergency, any kind of bump I might go into, and that's gonna be like the base of all of the things that I need to do throughout my week. You just start modifying that, but it's definitely something that you need to sit down first and see how you're gonna do it, because that's very important when it comes to this journey. If you don't do this right, you're gonna burn out. You are going to have headaches, you're going to have doubts, you're going to have a hard time, because when you're doing this out of order, when you're doing all of this um like a crazy person, I want to say, because honestly it does become like that. It becomes a point that you just feel crazy. It's a lot and you don't know how to put it all together, or do it all in one day, or do it all in the week. And when you see it all like that, messy and crazy and all over the place, you kind of just start saying, you know what, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm done with this. I don't need to do this. Whatever it is, it's going to set you back. And that's where, the support comes in, where they help you kind of like, no, you got this, you got this. What you do, you can do this. You just have to make sure you're managing your time wisely. Um, all right, guys, I'm going to leave you guys with this information. Thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you guys for keeping up with me throughout the weeks. And I can't wait to talk to you guys about some other things next week. So stay tuned and I'll see you guys next week.